Hi, welcome to my channel. Roblox is known for fun games and silly avatars, but some games are hiding something darker because they're based on real stories. This is my first time trying spooky, real-life content, so if you're into it, I'm Coco Faye, and if this video hits 5 likes, I'll drop a part 2. Now let's get into it. Our first game is Slender Man's Revenge Reborn. You spawn in a dark forest, and something is watching. You collect pages, you hide, you run. It feels like just another horror game, but this one connects to a real crime. Let me take you to Waukesha, Wisconsin, a small quiet city just west of Milwaukee. About 70,000 people live there, mostly families, the kind of place with schools, bike trails, and block parties. It's not the kind of town where you expect something horrifying to happen. But in May 2014, it did. 3 6th grade girls, Peyton Leutner, Morgan Geyser, and Anissa Weyer, were classmates at a local middle school. They were typical 12-year-olds. They played games, passed notes, had sleepovers. On May 30th, they had a birthday party for Morgan. Nothing unusual. The next morning, they went for a walk in the woods. Peyton thought they were going to play hide and seek, but it was a setup. Morgan and Anissa believed in a character called Slender Man, a tall, faceless figure from internet horror stories, the kind people called creepypasta. They were convinced he was real, and that if they didn't sacrifice someone to him, he'd hurt their families. So in a wooded park near a bike trail, Morgan stabbed Peyton 19 times. Some of the wounds were just millimeters from her heart, but Peyton didn't die. Bleeding, she crawled out of the woods, toward the bike path. A man on a bicycle found her and called for help. She survived, and when police asked Morgan and Anissa why they did it, they said it was for Slender Man. They really believed it. Morgan was later diagnosed with schizophrenia. Anissa was found to be deeply impressionable and afraid. Both girls were committed to mental institutions for years. The case shook the internet, and shook Waukesha to its core. A quiet town, 3 middle schoolers, and a crime that sounded like something from a horror movie. So when you play Slender Man's Revenge Reborn on Roblox, you're not just wandering through a haunted forest. You're stepping into a digital version of a real story that still haunts a real place. The next game is Geisha. It begins quietly. You return to your childhood home. The house is empty. Your family's gone. And before long, you realize something else is in the house with you. It watches from the shadows, moves in silence. The fear in this game isn't loud or bloody. It's slow, creeping, based on something deeper, a story that's been told for generations in Japan. The legend is called Teek Teek. She was a high school girl. The story changes depending on who tells it. Some say she tripped and fell onto train tracks. Others say she jumped. Either way, she was hit by a train. Her body was cut in half. But the horror didn't stop there. The legend says she became a spirit, dragging herself through train stations, alleys, and schoolyards at night. Her arms make a scratching sound against the ground. That's where the name comes from, Teek Teek Teek. If she catches you, the story goes, she'll cut you in half, just like her, and you'll join her. This isn't just an internet myth. In Japan, some schools warn kids not to stay out after dark. Others told children to never look under bridges alone. In Geisha, that fear is turned into a game, but the ghost isn't random. She's rooted in a cultural fear, a real one that still lives in stories, schools, and the quiet parts of the night. Our final game is Before Truth. You play a detective, entering a house where a mother and daughter have vanished. The furniture is untouched. The blood is fresh. You follow clues, uncover secrets, and try to figure out what happened. It feels like fiction, but it's far too familiar. Before Truth isn't based on a real case, but when I played it, the missing child, the quiet house, the creeping dread, I couldn't ignore how close it felt to real headlines. That's why I'm including it here. Not to say this game tells a true story, but because it opens the door to a real conversation, one where horror sometimes looks a lot like real life. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get to 5 likes where I can do part 2, including the game Survive 99 Nights in the Forest.